Let's make this driver a whole heck of a lot easier, to where you set up over top of the golf ball and you just know you're going to hit one solid and right down the middle. Nice little draw on it. Well, there's one move that really is a game changer for almost all players that I see, and that's this right elbow move. So when I make a swing, I want to feel like my body opens up and my elbow is tucked in, the inside of this elbow. My club head is going to lag behind. That's what's going to get it in the slot here. So as that elbow starts to go forward, that drops the club in the slot. I'm on plane. Everything's coming from the inside. Very easy to hit really nice, consistent shots. So let's give it a whirl here. And then I got 3 different drills that are going to make this just very intuitive for you. All right, let's go ahead and try it out. There we go. That one couldn't have felt much more solid. I mean, I feel like all I have to do is rotate through there and it's completely natural. So first, to get the feel for this, let's just take the club in the right hand only. And what I'm feeling like when I make that swing is I'm feeling like my body is just opening up. So I feel my left hip turning out of the way. If I was to go toward the camera like this, I'm feeling like my left hip clears out of the way, and that's what brings the arms and the shoulders forward. I'm feeling like my left shoulder is also clearing out of the way. Like if you're going to skip a stone or throw a ball sidearm, that's the exact feeling that you'd have. This is all clearing to bring the elbow in. And then my elbow, or if you imagine that I had a little pointer sticking out from my elbow, like this. So if I'm looking at my elbow pit, this will be my hand facing inwards like this, the actual pit there. I want that facing upwards. That's called external rotation. The way that you can feel this, if you put your arm and bend it at 90 degrees, you'd go ahead and rotate your arm outward as far as you can. Most people can go a little farther than me, get over here. I just have a little bit limited shoulder flexibility. Now from there, the inside of your elbow would now be facing the target if we're standing in this direction. And if you imagine this as an arrow, as I'm coming down, I want that arrow facing the target for as long as possible. So my body is opening up, but my inside of my elbow is facing the target. If I do that toward the camera here, it would look just like this. So my body's clearing out of the way, but that elbow's facing forward. Now, the wrist positions are really tricky when doing this for most players. So let me give you something that's really intuitive to get those wrist positions. If you have a Frisbee, a dinner plate, a paper plate, doesn't really matter. I'm just showing this to give the example. You don't have to do this, but if you got something like this, it makes it really easy. I just went to the sporting goods store and picked this up just for this video. So if I'm throwing this Frisbee, if I was going to throw this Frisbee sidearm like that, I would naturally get in that wrist position. So as I start to open up, you'll see now left side of the body clears out of the way, inside of the elbow is coming forward, but look at the Frisbee. I don't have it flat wrist like this. I got the Frisbee angled back so that now as I come through, I can release the wrist and get that to go down the fairway, or what would be down the fairway as I'm doing that. Now, that's exactly what you want to feel in the golf swing. Wrist angled back, inside of the elbow leading, and then bam, you just let it release. There's a specific point that you release this in. Actually, I released that one too much down the fairway. In golf, what you really want to do, if I'm swinging toward this golf ball on the ground, let's go ahead and just set one on the ground here for example's sake. If I'm swinging toward this golf ball, I actually want to have that elbow tucked, club angled back, and I'm going to release toward a golf ball about 45 degrees in front. So if I was to draw a line from my chest, 45 degrees, this being vertical, 0 degrees, this being parallel with the ground, 90 degrees, 45 degrees in front is about where I'm going to release it. I actually studied over 50 major winners and measured, and every single one of them averaged releasing up in front of the golf ball somewhere up in there. They averaged between 20 and 50 degrees, that range, that was the range that they're in, and their average was 41 degrees in front. So getting a little bit too wrapped up in the details there, what that's really telling me is all these pros had this club lagging behind like that Frisbee, and they all released that club to where now the club angle didn't have an angle in my right wrist. My right wrist is flat, about 45 degrees in front. So if I had that Frisbee again, I would be thinking about throwing that Frisbee right out toward this golf ball out in front. I have another little device here that'll give you the same idea. It's like it breaks in a baseball glove. Again, saw this at the sporting goods store, thought this would be a great intuitive way of feeling this. So if I was going to lag behind, elbow in, wrist back like that, I'm now going to go ahead and throw that, and if I do that correctly, this will just shoot down and hit that golf ball. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that, but that's a sensation that I feel like I'm going to have. I got lucky on my first throw there, but that's exactly what a golf swing is. Letting that lag behind, elbow in, and then I'm releasing that out in front. Now, there's one final drill. If those haven't got it for you, this is really going to help, because a lot of that depends on body rotation. Now, what I couldn't do is I couldn't throw out that direction if my body was closed. So nobody would throw like this across their body with their hips and shoulders not opening. A big key to making this work is clearing the body out of the way so you can get that elbow in and throw it out there. This final drill really helps with that. Now, what I can do is I'm going to set up with this club in front of my body. I'm going to stand straight up and down, and I'm going to go ahead and turn until this club would be kind of coming down in line with my right foot. So I'm turning probably maybe 60 degrees this way. Doesn't make a big difference how far you go, but about like that. Then from there, I'm going to go ahead and put this club on the ground. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my body now until that club squares up. So you can see it's actually turning in. So it's coming from the inside, or what would be the slot. And as I rotate my body, that squares it up. So if we're looking from this direction, it would look like this. There's my club on the ground. And then I'm going to turn my body. I'm rotating my hips and my shoulders to get that to be square or going down my target line now. If I'm looking for face on again, same thing. Put it on the ground, rotate the body. Left shoulder and left hip clear out of the way, just like we were talking about. And now that squares it up where I'm in that same exact position that we were just working on with the Frisbee, with the golf, or with the baseball mitt thing that breaks it in. Those are all three giving you the same feeling. Now, once you tie that together, now I want you to focus in on just that right elbow. This is going to be your swing key. Getting that toward the target as long as possible, and then releasing the hand as it comes on through there. Let's go ahead and give one a whirl again. You'll see I have a ton of lag. I really have, it's so easy to get the club in the slot when you're doing this, as you see from some of my slow motions. But this just makes it completely intuitive to get from the inside and make a good golf swing. There we go. Really couldn't hit one much better than that, right down the middle of the fairway. Now, there's one problem with this. There's one piece that I left out of here. This is going to teach you how to tuck that elbow in, get the wrist lagging behind, everything releasing out in front, just like all the pros are doing. But there's one thing that almost everybody gets wrong when they're doing this. See, most players are used to squaring the club face up by pushing the hands like this. And when we get rid of that pushing, and we all of a sudden get into that lagging, tons of lag, and getting the elbow leading, that face is wide open. So if I'm used to flipping, and all of a sudden I get that elbow tucked in, look how the face is wide open now. Now there's a specific way that the pros are using their wrist that allows them to get that elbow tucked, get it in the slot, be a really great hit shot, but still have that face square up to the target line like I'm seeing here. Now I'm going to teach you exactly how to use the wrist properly. Specific way you use the left wrist to get it nice and flat or even bowed like this, and a specific way you use the right wrist to get those knuckles back, just like the pros are getting once and for all. Elbow in, knuckles back. Ooh, that's the key to really some great golf. It's called the tennis racket drill, and I'm going to play a preview of it here in just 1 second. When you see that preview, all you need to do is go ahead and click one of the cards that pops up on the screen somewhere, or if you don't see that card, don't worry, just go down to the link down below in the description, and you'll get instant access. Once you get it in the slot, we got to get that wrist angle. Put those two things together, now you're from the inside, you got tons of lag, and you got that nice tight draw every single time. Best of luck. Let's go ahead and get started in the tennis racket drill right now. Good player problems. We're going to talk about shallowing that club shaft out as we're starting down, as we're doing this rotating of the face that we worked on in the last video. As we start this downswing, what you'll see with basically all of the top players is instead of coming kind of over the top and letting the hands come out away from their body, letting the club come out away from their body, again coming down steep into the ball and then having to open up, kind of fillet open the face and add loft to it. The flattening of the shaft should happen as soon as we start down. So as we start this downswing, what we want to have happening here, you can imagine that if I draw a line from the hosel of my club up through my right elbow, that's my swing plane line, my elbow plane. As I go to the top of the swing, I'm going to be slightly above that. And then as I start down, I want my hands to start to shallow out. I want the club to shallow out inside of this elbow plane. And at the same time, I'm going to be rotating.